90 is a chance for us to try out special topics, try out topics that we realize need to be part of the curriculum, but are still figuring out how to create a class that's rigorous enough to meet the standards of the rest of what we offer, and that is the right thing to push our majors. Professor Wolff and I came up with the idea of, let's have the writers who are in our graphic novel course and studying the medium and how word and image work together in the production of a work, for them to do the writing that my people would then provide the artwork for.
I had been teaching up until this point. My winter courses have always been graphic novels. Of course, I have a third course in studies in rhetoric. But my focus, has been really on these graphic novels. I had been teaching a course that was image and text for the English 212, which is a research writing course, basically. And I just found myself going ever toward the image, right, as well as the text. So I kind of put away my old syllabus and developed a new one on graphic novels. They're substantial works. They're memoirs, they're narratives, their reportage on Gaza and the international situation, Gaza and Palestine and Jewish military, etc. So I mean, we are really mixing it up, and students are, like I say, they're showing me that it is demanding reading, it demands their attention, it demands research, it demands glossing terms, it demands often demands a reader who has read broadly and widely.
My name is Amanda Mueller, and I'm a theater major, and I'm from Saginaw, Michigan. I took this class, first of all, because it said comics in the title, and it sounded awesome. And I've been talking with Professor Mosher a lot, because art is my minor, and he said that it would count towards my minor, but it would be a fun class to help develop other skills other than fine art skills. What's been really neat for me is having something tangible in my hands. I mean, as a theater major, you're on stage and you have everything in your head and you have those wonderful memories. But with art, you actually have something in your hands that you can hold that's a remembrance of your hard work. I drew Necromancy Revealed. Her story was so descriptive. I mean, I didn't even have to talk to her a whole lot about it. I didn't have too many questions for her because, I mean, the way she wrote it, she had it described so well that I was like, oh, that was awesome. Thank you for telling me that. I will draw that. It was really neat. A lot of times when you're doing life drawing and when you're doing like really realistic drawing, you have so many details and it gets really worked up. But in a comic, you want to say what you want to say quick and fast and get your point across. And that really helped me simplify my style and simplify characters and simplify the things that I love and put that in my art.
I'm Holly Morton, and I'm a graphic design major from Detroit. I illustrated the comic The Invisible. When I hopefully one day am in graphic design and doing computer art, I'll always still use sketches and go back to the sketchbook and do really rough sketches. And we learned that in the comics class too, so we did what we call them breakdowns. And so we'll just really quick sketch out the composition and how we're going to lay out the characters and the text and the speech bubbles and everything, just so we have a rough idea ahead of time of how we're going to lay it out before we actually commit to the final drawing. The comics class has definitely helped me to just kind of have a better understanding of compositions and layouts and sketches and the process, and to help me realize that it takes time and you can't just have a final product in one day, you know. You sometimes make mistakes and you learn from them, and sometimes you won't be happy with, you know, your process, and you'll get, you know, like you'll get confused and you'll just have to work through those mistakes, and finally one day you'll be surprised with your outcome. And so definitely the comics class has helped me.
I'm Gerhard Schutte. I'm a secondary ed major, majoring in English, minoring in history, and I'm from Yale, Michigan. Holly Martin was my illustrator, and I wrote about an issue with the homeless. It was English 212 with Janice Wolff. We were sort of required to write a story, an 8-panel comic, nothing longer, and that was where the sort of issue started. You had to figure out how to cram a lot into a very small space. So I thought about it, ideas went through my brain here and there, and I ended up deciding to tackle an issue of the homeless, and it sort of became almost a supernatural story in which when the homeless man passes away, him and like many others that there's even a subtle hint throughout history, have stayed behind to sort of help the population that is left invisible, empty on the streets. I was actually working in a soup kitchen one day with a group, and that's when the idea came up that this was something that I needed to write about. And that's so often overlooked, something that we walk by every day and we don't think about it enough. And that's where the idea for the invisible sort of came up. It was something that's there, something that's in life, but we ignore it and it becomes an invisible piece of our day.
My name is Akia Bell. My major is in graphic design, and I'm from Bay City, Michigan. I designed the story Andy Warhol's 2011 Adventures. I'm an Andy Warhol fan, and I've been studying him for a couple of years. I've been to the Andy Warhol Museum a couple times, so when I seen the script, I was like, yeah, that's me. I want that. I want that one. What I basically did for the Andy Warhol story is I tried to include pop art, because that's what Andy was all about. So within the script, I noticed that he comes to 2011 and, oh wow, we have all these new things, and I incorporated his 4 squares, like the Marilyn Monroe thing like that. So I just included Andy in it and made it look like if he was here, that he'd be really proud of it. When I graduate from Saginaw Valley, I want to do big things. I want my own design firm called Just Flow Graphics. I want the motto to be like, no mistakes, just art. And kind of do like a couple of community projects if it really blows up. That's what I really want to do, because kids need to know that art is important. So working with kids and doing murals and maybe even little comic books that they draw, that'd be really nice. When you put your comic on the board, you never know what somebody else is going to say. And for somebody to say, well, I don't like that right there, and you're like, why? But they give you a lot of positive feedback, and it's good for the overall comic book.